and welcome to Rock Your Blog, where we are highlighting individuals who are making an impact in our community. I'm your host, Larry Laws. On today's segment of First Home Alliance, we have a very special guest. She has made an impact on all levels, from an AmeriCorps Vista volunteer to asset development program manager at National Council of La Raza. Please welcome to our show the president and founder of Center for Assistance to Families, Walkiria. Thank you for coming to the show, Walkiria.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you. So how was your trip in?
It was okay. It was not too far, only about 20 minutes. But as I said, I depend so much on my GPS. It got lost. Of course, I got lost as well.
Okay.
But I made it.
You made it. Okay. Well, we actually met a couple of months ago. At that was at a 5K.
Yes.
Yes, and out at Burke. And so it was a pleasure meeting you there, and I want to say welcome to Northern Virginia.
Likewise. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Well, that was an amazing event that we participated in, and you want to share it a little bit. How did you find out about a 5K in the middle of November? How did you come up with that idea?
Well, I will tell you, I cannot take the credit. We decided to go ahead and do it because the Housing and Community Services for Northern Virginia, they've been doing it for about 5 years. Now they stopped for the last 3 years. They tried different time of the year, but it happened that November was the best. I know they did it in the past in April. The attendance wasn't as high as the November one. So they decided to stick to the November date. I wouldn't pick November because it was really cold.
Yes.
But it ended up to be very successful. And what happened is there's so many people that are coming to town.
Yes.
So they ended up participating in the 5K.
Well, it was good to see some of the community partners out there and the local businesses that was there. And I had an opportunity to meet your family as well.
Yes.
Raphael?
Yes. My husband, he has to put a lot of hats. So that day, he needed to be one of the volunteers. He decided not to run. But yes, he was helping as well as my son, my oldest son. He was there, Raphael, as well. So we had a great time. And, you know, we all did what we were supposed to do. We wished to support the event and making sure that it came out to be okay, and I think it did.
Yes. Well, that's great having community partners out there and actually having the family involved.
Yes.
Yes. Well, you recently had a grand opening. You know, you mentioned the Housing Services Northern Virginia, and now it is the Center for Assistance for Families.
Yes.
And so tell me about opening up here in Northern Virginia.
Well, CAF, Center for Assistance to Families, when we opened up the office back then, you know, many years ago, 2006, in Massachusetts, that way we originally opened. But since 2013, we've been wanting to expand to the Northern Virginia, just because we do have a lot of relationship with the faith-based community, and we got a large number of our faith-based community partners that are here. So we were trying to do it, but because of funding issue, we were not able to do it back then. Now, last year, 2017, the Housing and Community Service of Northern Virginia, they were looking to partner with another organization with similar mission to absorb them so that they can continue the legacy in the community. They went through a search and they decided to choose us. So that's how we ended up in the Northern Virginia.
Well, that's great. Well, again, welcome to Northern Virginia. So far, have your organization and the new leadership been received here?
Well, it's been great, by the way. I have to say that it's different. It's different from we've been based in Prince George's County, Maryland for many years. And coming to the Northern Virginia, you know, once you pass the bridge, it's different, a different community. But one of the things that I feel is the need is still the same.
Yes.
Families still need the same services, and you know, there's a great sense of partnership here, and I like that. We've been very welcome and very well received and accepted by the community.
Oh, that's great. Yes. And what size of a staff are you working with?
We have 6.
Okay.
Right now, and again, we depend on a lot of volunteers. The date of the event, as you saw, we got over 20 volunteers that were there. and our board of directors, they're very, very engaged, so they help us.
Yes.
And so, yeah, that's so far we are very small, but looking to grow.
Yes, and I know that you was here in Maryland. Now you're here. Do you have the full complement of services that you was providing there?
Well, we're gonna start from the basic. We're gonna continue to do home ownership here,
Okay.
which is the services that we had started it in both Massachusetts and Maryland, and now in Virginia, we're looking to do the same. We're gonna stick to home ownership
Okay.
for a little while, doing specifically pre-purchase, foreclosure prevention.
Okay.
And hopefully we want to expand into rental assistance. And when I say hopefully, it's because it depends a lot on in funding
Yes.
from the county. That was the reason why the previous organization have to merge, because they lost a lot of their funding for the rental assistance program.
Yes. And so some of the programs, could you what are some of the programs that you're offering now to the community?
Where we are doing the BHDA program through the home ownership
Okay.
seminars, we're doing the one-on-one counseling, helping family, get ready for home ownership, financial management, financial capability, and that's pretty much one of the heaviest one is
Yes.
getting, which we're able to help those who are still in rental, doing a lot of credit restoration, credit rebuilding, and helping them, get on hold of their finance. And of course, eventually we want to expand into some of the other services. But right now, that is what we're able to provide.
Yes, that's great. Yeah, and so what are you doing to outreach to the community?
That is a really great question. We've been one of our niches is the faith-based, and we got over 200 faith-based organizations that have partnered with us, mainly Latino. And so the way that we do it is that we do a lot of the outreach through our faith-based network.
Okay.
And we have been able to connect with a lot of great local farms that provide us a lot of fresh produce, which we're able to pass over to our faith-based community.
Okay.
And people like food, free food, especially
Yes, of
fresh
course.
produce. So that is a great, way to get people in to our events, so they find out what we do, and through that we're able to follow up with them.
Okay. Yeah. And so do you often put on these, first-time homebuyer classes?
Yes, we do monthly seminars.
You do monthly,
The
okay.
monthly home buying seminars.
Okay. And you've been able to deliver. Are you actually putting some of the events on at the faith-based organizations as well?
Yes, that's how we do it. We partner with them to use their venue, and that's how we provide that's where we provide the first-time home buyer seminars. And in addition to that, we do what is called the community transformation, and I'll tell you a little bit about that because it's something that we've been doing for many years here in Virginia. Anyways, and the community transformation started in April and ends in October for Hispanic Heritage Month. And pretty much what we do is that we do many events with the faith-based community where we try to bring many resources into that specific community using food deliverance, again, as a way to get people in and people to get to know about the different resources we have. Last year, we got about 17 of those events, and we reached about 2,500 families.
Yes. Okay. To start a business like this, a nonprofit, it's not so much, the work. Everyone loves to work. And it's not so much your professional guidance and things of that sort. You have to be inspired to actually to enter into that arena. What inspired you to travel this path?
Well, I guess my inspiration was it was my life itself. I'm an immigrant. And so when I came to this country, one of the things that I felt is that I needed guidance. I did not know the country, the culture, the language, didn't know anything. So I felt that I needed to get someone to help me through. And going through the challenges, once I finished college and I was able to actually join AmeriCorps because I wanted to be connected, in the workforce, one of the things I decided was that I was going to go back and give back to my community and help those who, like me, are coming to this country and need a place of guidance, need somebody to help them navigate the system and kind of tell them how to do it. And so that was my inspiration.
Yes.
And of course, with that, it comes the faith-based group that we're a great support. That's why I work with them,
Okay.
because they were the one who extended the hands when I came here to the U.S. And so I felt that they needed to be empowered so that they can continue to provide the support to family like I.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about the history of starting. When did you start?
I started the organization in 2006. And again, we started it in Massachusetts. That's where I went to school. And after I came from the Dominican Republic, that's where I'm originally from. My family, we got established there. And so because of my history and the path that I went through, we decided to work with the faith-based organizations there as a way to do some kind of community organizing.
Yes.
And that's how it started it. But in 2008, when the crisis started to happen with the housing crisis, my background is housing and community development. I felt that I had a duty.
Yes.
And part of that was that I needed to really help my community that were struggling, losing their homes. And that's when I decided to leave my paid job, and join this full time and do it completely, because it's been always in my blood and in my heart, but I decided to take it to another level.
Okay. Well, we're going to take a break, and so I want you to. What we're going to do is continue to talk about what you're doing, and also I want to see what you have on the horizon.
Excellent.
All right. We're going to take a short break, but before we go, I would like to remind you that First Home Alliance is a HUD-approved housing counseling agency serving the National Capital Area. If you're a first-time home buyer or a homeowner in need of mortgage assistance, please visit the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development website to find a HUD-approved agency in your area. We'll be right back after the break. Stay tuned.
With First Home Alliance. A little bit about First Home Alliance. We are a HUD-approved housing counseling agency that was established in 2002 by our executive director, Larry Law. He established a nonprofit. He established it because his mother purchased her first home at the age of 65. And everyone was like, how did you do that? Because her income was really low. And so that's how he found out about the USDA program. And so through the USDA program, his mother was able to purchase her first home. It intrigued him to see how he could help individuals basically experience the American dream of homeownership. So he established the nonprofit. Mission is to increase home ownership to low to moderate income families. And so what does First Home Alliance do?
Welcome back. You're watching Rock Your Block. I'm your host, Larry Laws of First Home Alliance. If you're just now tuning in, we're joined today with Walkiria, President and founder of Center for Assistance to Families. Walkiria, before the break, you was talking about how you got started with the nonprofit. I'm quite sure it was really easy. Was there maybe any challenges in getting started?
Oh, easy was not easy. It was not easy. I will tell you that there was a lot of challenges, and we still face challenges. But you mentioned something in the previous interview is passion. When passion is there and you really love what you do, you don't feel it so much. It's been almost 12 years and I still feel like it's been just a year or two, because the energy is still there and the passion and the love. But yes, it was challenging, especially when you start. It's a non-profit. I mean, it's a business.
Yes.
A non-profit is just like a business, and you need to treat it like it is. You need to deal with funding. You need to deal with staffing. You need to deal with all the issues that are going on. You have to deal with families in need. And so all of that all combined, and in my case, having to raise 4 little kids at the same time through this process, but it's been a journey that I have enjoyed.
So did you go out and do your seeding and your campaign funding, and you actually had a full staff and full budget when you first started?
No.
Yeah.
No.
It didn't start that way?
No at all. I will tell you this. The way that I started my organization out of my house.
Okay.
So I used to see clients out of my living room.
Yes.
And dining table. until I was able to move into one of the churches that opened their door for me to offer. But, as you know, 2008, 2009 was a really tough time. People were losing their homes back and forth. And so in my community itself, I used to have a list of family coming over for help because they knew that I was, I had experience in how to deal with the housing issue. And there was not too many organizations providing bilingual counseling, so I had no other choice but I have to help them.
Yes, and I think that is a big plus here, being bilingual and being able to, work with the Hispanic community. Yes, and how is it, you're sort of an organization and having that family support?
Yes, that's been great. I had a great husband that has given me so much. Well, you saw him working,
yes.
and that's just one of his hats. But he wears so many. He actually helped us with the technology because he's an engineer. Help us a lot with that. But having that support from my husband, from my family, my mother-in-law, brothers, sister. By the way, my sister, she helped me open up. She helped me. She's the co-founder of the organization, and she oversees the agency in Massachusetts. So it's been a family business, you can put it that way. But we had in this great people that join us volunteer. That today they've been one of my wonderful staff. They've been working with us for so many years. So it's been amazing.
Well, that's great. Yeah, and first to bring the individuals in that need the help, you've actually done some other outreach. And so tell us about some of the other interviews that you've had.
You mean the families who are in need, or just
bringing the families in for need? And so have you actually used the, I think you had an interview with the 10:30 a.m. You was interviewed there.
Yes,
and so this was played out to help bring in individuals that was in need.
Yes, we actually hosted a radio show for many, many years called Point of Connection.
Okay.
And so it reached out to the Latino community mainly. It's at 10:30. And so that was a great source, and we still continue to. We don't have it right now, but we continue to partner with them to bring the information about events and things that are going on in the community, especially through the organization. So we have partnered with many, with the media, but also with great partners that we have in the community.
Okay, and so radio is a good avenue of getting the word out. And have you talked to any of the radio stations here in Northern Virginia yet?
Not yet. That's actually one of it's in my to-do list.
Okay.
So I'm hoping to rely on people like you who will help me make those connections.
Yes.
But we're pretty new. We're the new kid in the block, so we're trying to just, get help from people that I know that already know the system here.
Yes. Well, some of the community partners, and I think we have some synergy there that has encouraged both our organizations to collaborate and do things there. And so we have one Spanish-speaking person on staff, and we overload him with a lot of work.
Wow.
And so,
I imagine. I imagine. Yeah.
And so we do need that collaboration because we do, the home ownership, the foreclosure prevention, the credit, and it's a lot easier when you're speaking the same language. And so we definitely will be reaching out for your assistance in that area.
Definitely. Well, that's why we're here.
Okay. Yes. Now, one area we haven't ventured into, but I'm very interested in you actually helping with some of the basic needs for the community. Where did the ideal of food pantry, where did that come from?
And again, it goes back to my beginning. When I arrived to this country, one of the biggest needs that my family had was food.
Yes.
Putting food on the table. So I remember my mom, and my whole family with 5 siblings coming over to this pantry at the church to get food. And so it was a great blessing. And so I felt that just like myself, so many people still will benefit from that. And so we use the food as a way to meet the basic need of family, knowing the housing is there, the housing need is there, jobs and so on. So whenever we bring food to the family, we connect them with so many other resources because we feel that if they're looking for food, they also are looking for some other assistance
Yes.
as well.
And what partners do you have, how are you getting partners? Where are you getting the food from?
Yeah, actually, right now we've been very blessed to get a lot of our donations from this coastal Sun Belt.
Okay.
They are a big produce company in the Washington Metro, so they supply all of our churches with fresh produce, and we do distribution probably 4 times a month.
Okay.
With different partners, meaning different churches. But they do provide. Last year we got over 2 million of produce,
Yes.
that went out to the
And
community.
so, do that mean a lot to you to do the fresh produce, something that's healthy
Oh
versus
gosh, yes.
some preservatives or
Totally,
something?
totally. I
Yes.
mean, I'm a huge advocate of, eating healthy. And by the way, we do provide healthy eating.
Okay.
We have gotten funded in the past by the Department of Health and Human Services
Okay.
to help family about health, kind of push people to the healthy eating habit and
Yes.
also the healthy living, becoming active, but eating. And for the Latino community, how can we change, the fried food into a more healthier, just to give you
Yes.
an example, sweet potato, we never saw that in our country.
Right.
So coming here, we felt like sweet potato is not for us. And then we realized, oh, it's so good, and there's so many ways that we can eat it.
True.
So, introducing our families to healthier choices has always been one of our great
Okay.
things to do.
And I will be talking to you, afterward and talking about physical fitness, financial wellness, and how we can bring that together.
Yes.
And because it's very important, they do go hand in hand.
It goes, yes,
Yes.
totally. Yeah, oh, I would love to. It's one of my passions. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. What's on the horizon? What's coming up next?
So CAF, we are looking to, as I said, we want to be very well established here. We want to meet some new people, new collaboration, new opportunity. But then at the same time, we are looking to expand some of the services that we already have well established. One of it is the healthy eating part,
Okay.
as I mentioned. We're hoping to get funding here so we can establish that program. With the community transformation, that's something that we want to expand to another level. That's why we need a partnership. We need community colleges, we need business development. All of that information needs to come out to the community. And in our events, we usually get between 200 to 500 people show up.
Yes.
And so they need resources, they need information, and that's why we're looking. Environmental health is a huge piece, and we've been awarded and funded for many, many years in our Maryland and Massachusetts office to do environmental justice.
Okay.
So that's one of the things that we also want to bring here. Again, it depends a lot on funding, but then at the same time, it's in our it's in our list to bring over to this community.
Okay. And so what would be some of the ideal business partners that could come over and maybe look for possible sponsorship for you?
Lenders, we always need lenders. We need realtors, as you know, because as a HUD approved counseling agency, we need to bring those expert in the fields into all together. But also, any business owner, anybody that want to say, what, we want to tap into the Latino community, we want to help, we want to be there, a supporter. That's what we're looking for. And as you know, funding is a big issue. So funding opportunities always a big one.
Okay.
For us.
And for our community out there in need, if they need to find out more information about your organization, how would they contact you?
To go to our website, www.mycaf.org, www.mycaf.org. There they will find all the information about our organization, how to contact and how to participate in all the different programs that we have.
Okay. Well, Carrie, it's been a pleasure.
Likewise.
And I look forward to working with you.
Thank you so
All right.
much,
Thank you
Larry.
for coming on the
you.
show.
Thank you.
All right. I hope you enjoyed this interview with Walkiria and impressed with her impact to the community. If you would like additional information, check out her website. Now it's time to check our inbox and see how we can help rock your block. This is where we share a recent question sent to us from you, our viewing audience, about financial stability and housing. Today's question comes from Woodbridge, Virginia. Should I rent or buy? How would I know I'm ready to buy? Well, I would say meet with a home ownership advisor and also attend a first-time homebuyer class. A HUD certified homeownership advisor will sit down with you, look at your budget, look at your affordability, and see if it's a good time for you to move forward. But the decision is yours to see if you're able and ready to take on that responsibility of homeownership. But we're here to guide you along the way. I am Larry Laws of First Home Alliance, and it has been my pleasure sharing with you our mission and highlighting people in our community that are making an impact. If you have questions about financial fitness or how to make your dream of homeownership a success, send your question to our inbox and tune in to our show next time to see if your question was selected to be shared with our audience. You can easily get more information about our services by visiting our website. Thank you for watching today's segment of First Home Alliance, and join us next time to rock your block.
Glad to know that, some of this stuff about credit and buying houses is written down somewhere. A lot of the times it's always hearsay, like other friends or family members who have bought houses before, but they can never, tell you legit what you need to get done and do before buying a house.
I definitely think this class should be required for all first home buyers because a lot of times the real estate agent doesn't explain the process to you. So I think this is very important.
It's from the credit up to receiving a loan, and the most important thing is the process that you go through when you're buying the house, and there are a lot of process which you don't have idea about that before you take this class.
Speakers who came up and spoke about each section, they were very knowledgeable in their field, and I felt like it was relatable. They didn't just throw out a whole bunch of terms that went over my head, but they really explained it in a way to where I understood it, and I could even explain it to my children, and it was even easier for me to take home and kind of remember and process and apply to my next steps. The process was amazing.
They start first with the class before even finding a lender or agent. So I did all that and I wasn't able to purchase, and then I was like, you know what, there's a lot of information I'm not aware of. Let me just start from the beginning, to put everything on hold. Start from
piecing the information together, because you've heard things about the loans and about this and about the credit, but this is like a summary, and it just gives a clear flow of where to go with what you have and kind of building up a plan. So that kind of gives me a whole picture of where I needed to go and how to get there.